We really bet the company on 80K. What if we build it this way? No one's ever done it before. Like, the company would have failed if this had failed. Are extensions even going to work?
So 2 days ago, we finally removed our waitlist and launched Arc 1.0 to the public. To celebrate the occasion, browser company CEO Josh Miller called an all-team meeting to reminisce on the 10 key moments that got us here, and some that almost derailed us along the way.
I really, for those of you who don't know, the probably the most important moment that carries through to this day is this company started with me wanting to work with Hirsch again and Hirsch wanting to work with me again. This is a photo of me and Samir at Hirsch's wedding in India 3 months before COVID hit. And as soon as the idea for the browser company came up, Hirsch got really excited. But to me, what's more special about that is the chain reaction since then. Hirsch then went to get Samir. Samir brought on Alexandra, and just what it started with were people. And I think I hope it never ends, but it'll end with people. Here's a photo of after Hirsch got back from his honeymoon. We're working out of a physical office pre-COVID in New York. That's obviously Samir. And then look who it is, our video editor, Josh Lee, who at the time was our temporary designer, doing little designs on the side for our prototypes. So we started the browser company of New York. People are at its core. Nothing matters more than being in a room together. A few weeks later, COVID hits, and the browser company of New York is now on Zoom. So, I mean, Nate's face in the top left says it all. And now it still feels awkward to this day sometimes being on all hands Zooms, but it really felt odd then. So as much as it was big in all of our lives, COVID really shaped this company. And I'm so grateful to this day. We're working with people from all over the country and world. In retrospect, such an obvious decision, but like many things at the browser company, assume you don't know, was not part of the plan. But I'm so glad that a consequence of it is we got to work with all of you. And then this is the one that we sort of forget, but we really bet the company on 80K. I think we call it Arc Core now. Maybe we call it both. But we realized we couldn't build Arc and Electron. JavaScript was not going to be performant enough or secure enough. And the crew said, all right, well, what if we build it this way? No one's ever done it before, but we'll figure it out. The company would have failed if this had failed. And I'm a sociology major. I don't know really what's going on. I remember when we're like, are extensions even going to work? That was such an existential moment for the company. Here's Connor in our office. Why is Kansas City Connor in our New York office? I have no idea, but that smile, Connor at its best. I wanted to share it. So this is the office that we have today. We were, I think, hoping that COVID was about to end. It definitely did not almost end, but obviously this office has become such a special part of our journey together. This is me in my in-laws' yard in suburban New Jersey. Half sad that I'm in suburban New Jersey and half terrified that people are going to try our product for the first time. So for the first, I think, couple dozen people, hand recorded these videos for every single person, welcoming them to what was not called Arc at the time. The membership team, for all of you that don't know, every single human being that used our product got on a live Zoom call, and Adina or someone else on the team walked them through how to use the product, got to know them face to a name. We would not be here without that love. You see everything going on to Twitter today, that can trace itself back to Adina and the crew who just put a face to a company from day one. We hand onboarded, I think, thousands of people, hundreds of people for sure. Pretty remarkable. This is the first meal we got together after COVID, mid-COVID, sometime in COVID, but we hadn't gotten together. This is by where I used to live in Fort Greene. But you can see the crew's growing. It was a really special night. And then there was the big boss. We had been onboarding everyone by hand. We couldn't believe that retention was incredible. It was incredible. We didn't even like the product that much, and people were using it. But we had all these caveats. You onboard people by hand, it's not that good. And so we said, we got to beat the big boss. We even had Bowser as a mascot. And I thought we would never beat the big boss because we had to switch to the outer space architecture, which is actually how the sidebar works today. We had to do self-serve onboarding. It seemed like an impossible number of things, the big boss. And that we wanted to get to 15K DAU. You know how many DAU we're at today. We want 15K. It felt so insurmountable. And obviously we ended up being the big boss, but that was a big moment. Okay. So then there was this question of, all right, we don't know, we don't think our product's that good, but we need to do self-serve onboarding. And we don't even know how to describe the product yet. How do we get people to give self-serve onboarding a try? And this is where Omar, Carla, Christina, and crew took inspiration from film. And to this day, you think about how defining this little orb is, and the brrr, that came out of nowhere. And that came out of our being scared that, how is anyone going to try this product that we can't even describe? And obviously the member cards, this set, our little corner of the internet ablaze with inspiration. And this is a chart that I think we grew really quickly. Again, it's pretty funny to see 15K and how quaint that feels. But at the time, it was just like, oh my, holy smokes, we're growing as fast as Slack was in the early days. And then as we started growing and growing more and more, 10%, 12%, 8%, again and again, so proud of the way that storytelling and crew really opened up this company and didn't just accept that we were going to be like the hot startup of the market. We were going to be vulnerable. We were going to put our team out there front and center. We were going to try experiments. I see Dustin right here. We recorded a meeting of us saying nothing just to try it. And so storytelling, along that way, really humanizing us as a company and doing a fantastic job. And then this is obviously our offsite of the last year. Probably, I think it's go down as like an iconic timeless photo, but one of my faves. And then I'll just zoom through the last two because they're not the most fun, but I got to admit, our cash disappearing in thin air felt like a big moment in our history, for better or worse. I will not relive that with all of you, but I will say I've never shared this photo before. I pulled over to the side of the highway in the Mojave Desert because I lost service on a call with our lawyer or investor or someone. And this was the photo of me being like, if it all fucking explodes and my job goes away because of bank runs, like I want to remember the moment and where I was. So that was very scary, but I'm glad we got through it. And then I think the past few months, I think in many ways, the other moments are maybe more happy moments, kind of proud moments. But to be honest, I think for me personally, the last 3 to 6 months have been very humbling and very motivating. And I think in many ways have taught me personally more, and I hope all of us, than all of those great charts and moments. And so very proud of the work we've done in the past spring cleaning, which brings us, oh yeah, no, that's right. And then obviously you all were here for this, so I won't dwell on it, but it's kind of cool to see the progression of the faces and the rooms get a little bit larger. And that brings us to today, ARC 1.0. I just thought it was important. Obviously I skipped over a lot of photos and a lot of moments, but it's pretty incredible what we've all put into this. And I hope you all feel super, super proud. I know I do. And we're not announcing ARC 2.0. There are no dates, but isn't it kind of cool to think about that? Feels like so much, and yet it wasn't that long in terms of time. I can't wait to see what the next 10 moments are. And I'm so grateful that we got to do it with all of you. So thank you. And I want to end with where I started. Thank you also to our people team, to Lauren, to everyone there. Like, to me, this crew, that's what makes it worth it. And yeah, to many more. Congratulations, everybody.